As the Las Vegas Raiders gear up for the regular season, the quarterback position remains a hot topic of discussion. The preseason saw its share of drama, with the spotlight shifting to a familiar, yet controversial name, Nathan Peterman. Signed just 2 weeks ago after Anthony Brown's lackluster performance, Peterman's return was a last-ditch effort to stabilize the backup quarterback role. However, his brief stint during the final preseason game left much to be desired. The veteran journeyman, who once held promise, found himself struggling to move the chains, managing just 2 first downs in his first 4 drives. It was only on his 5th attempt, with halftime looming, that Peterman led the Raiders to their first touchdown. But was this too little? Too late? Now, as reports suggest Peterman's release is imminent, the Raiders are once again on the hunt for a more reliable backup. Could this decision signal a deeper problem in the Raiders' quarterback room? Or is it just the nature of the game? Let's dive deeper into the Raiders' decision-making process and what it means for the team's future. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more Raiders news and analysis. The Las Vegas Raiders have long been a team in search of stability, particularly at the quarterback position. This preseason, that search seemed to take a frantic turn as the team signed veteran Nathan Peterman just 2 weeks before the final preseason game. Peterman, a familiar name in the NFL, was brought in to provide some much-needed depth after Anthony Brown's disappointing performance. But as the dust settles, one has to wonder, was this just another chapter in the Raiders' ongoing quarterback carousel? Peterman's return to the Raiders was met with a mix of skepticism and curiosity. Known for his brief but tumultuous stints with other NFL teams, Peterman was not exactly the savior many fans hoped for. Yet his signing was a clear signal that the Raiders were not confident in their current backup options. The question on everyone's mind was whether Peterman could shake off his past struggles and prove himself worthy of a spot on the roster. As the preseason game unfolded, it quickly became apparent that Peterman's magic was in short supply. His first 4 drives yielded little to no progress, and the offense seemed stuck in neutral. The pressure was mounting, and fans were left wondering if this was truly the best the Raiders could do. Despite a brief glimmer of hope when Peterman finally led the team to a touchdown, the overall performance was underwhelming. Was this the end of the road for Peterman in Las Vegas? The decision to sign Nathan Peterman so late in the preseason raised eyebrows across the NFL community. For a team like the Raiders, who are looking to make a statement in the upcoming season, this move seemed like a gamble. Was this a desperate attempt to fill a gap, or was there a deeper strategy at play? Peterman's signing came after Anthony Brown's struggles in the first preseason game, where he failed to inspire confidence in the coaching staff. The Raiders were quick to act, bringing in Peterman as a potential solution. But was this decision made out of necessity, or was it part of a larger plan to shake up the quarterback room? The Raiders have been known for their bold moves, but this one felt different, more reactive than proactive. As Peterman took the field in the final preseason game, it was clear that the coaching staff was hoping for a miracle. The pressure was on, and the expectations were high. But as the game progressed, it became evident that Peterman was not the answer the Raiders were looking for. His struggles on the field mirrored those of his past, and the gamble seemed to be failing. The Raiders were left with more questions than answers, and the decision to release Peterman was becoming inevitable. Nathan Peterman's final preseason performance for the Raiders was, in many ways, the last opportunity for him to prove his worth. The stakes were high, and the clock was ticking. With the regular season just around the corner, Peterman needed to show that he could be a reliable backup for Derek Carr. Unfortunately, his performance fell short of expectations. The first half of the game was a struggle for Peterman. The offense seemed out of sync, and the lack of rhythm was palpable. Peterman's first 4 drives were forgettable, with only 2 first downs and a meager 36 yards of total offense. The frustration was building, both on the field and in the stands. Fans who had been hopeful for a comeback story were beginning to lose faith. It was a reminder that the NFL is a league of high stakes and even higher expectations. As the first half neared its end, Peterman finally managed to put together a scoring drive. The touchdown was a brief moment of relief, but it was clear that it wasn't enough to secure his spot on the roster. The performance was too little, too late, and the Raiders were left with no choice but to reevaluate their options. The final whistle blew, and with it, Peterman's chances of remaining with the team seemed to vanish. With Nathan Peterman's release looming, the Raiders are once again faced with a familiar dilemma: what to do about the backup quarterback position. The preseason has exposed a glaring weakness in the depth chart, and the team now has to make some tough decisions. The options are limited, but the need for a reliable backup is more critical than ever. The Raiders' decision to release Peterman suggests that they are not satisfied with their current quarterback room. But where do they go from here? One possibility is to scour the waiver wire in search of a veteran who can step in and provide stability. The NFL is a league of opportunity, and there may be a quarterback out there who is just waiting for the right chance. But finding that perfect fit is easier said than done. Another option for the Raiders is to bring Peterman back onto the practice squad, where he could continue to develop and provide insurance in case of injury. However, this move would likely be seen as a step backward, given Peterman's struggles during the preseason. The Raiders are in a tough spot, and the clock is ticking. The regular season is fast approaching, and the team needs to make a decision soon. Will they find a solution in time, or will the backup quarterback position continue to be a source of concern? The uncertainty surrounding the Raiders' quarterback situation could have significant implications for the team's upcoming season. With Derek Carr firmly entrenched as the starter, the focus now shifts to the depth behind him. The release of Nathan Peterman is just the latest twist in a storyline that has the potential to impact the Raiders' chances of success in 2024. A strong backup quarterback is essential for any team with playoff aspirations. Injuries are an unfortunate reality in the NFL, and having a reliable second option can make or break a season. The Raiders know this all too well, having dealt with their fair share of quarterback injuries in the past. The decision to move on from Peterman leaves a void that must be filled quickly if the team hopes to stay competitive. The ripple effects of this decision could extend beyond the field. Confidence in the coaching staff and front office is closely tied to the success of the team, and a misstep at the quarterback position could lead to increased scrutiny. The Raiders have high expectations for the season, and anything less than a playoff berth will be seen as a disappointment. The pressure is on, and the clock is ticking. The Raiders need to get this right, or they risk falling short of their goals. The news of Nathan Peterman's impending release has sparked a wave of reactions among Raiders fans. As with any decision involving the quarterback position, opinions are divided. Some fans are relieved, believing that Peterman's struggles were too much to overcome. Others, however, see the move as a sign of deeper issues within the team. The debate is intense, and it reflects the high stakes involved in NFL roster decisions. For many fans, Peterman's release is a no-brainer. His performance in the preseason was underwhelming, and the team cannot afford to carry a backup quarterback who fails to inspire confidence. These fans view the move as a necessary step in the Raiders' quest to build a competitive roster. They believe that the team will be better off exploring other options, even if it means taking a risk on an unproven player. On the other hand, there is a segment of the fan base that sees Peterman's release as a symptom of a larger problem. These fans argue that the Raiders have struggled to identify and develop quarterback talent for years, and that the revolving door at the position is a reflection of this failure. They worry that the team is making decisions out of desperation rather than strategy, and that this approach could have long-term consequences. The debate is far from settled, and it underscores the passion and intensity that Raiders fans bring to every aspect of their team. From a coaching perspective, the decision to release Nathan Peterman is both strategic and necessary. The Raiders coaching staff is under immense pressure to deliver results this season, and every roster decision is scrutinized. The quarterback position, in particular, is critical to the team's success, and the coaches must ensure that they have the right players in place to execute their game plan. The preseason is a time for evaluation, and Peterman's performance simply did not meet the standard required by the coaching staff. While there may have been hope that he could turn things around,